Hey everyone, if you've ever spent way too long pushing snow with a shovel or fighting with a cheap plow that just won't stay straight, you're not alone. I mean, who hasn't been there, right? There's nothing worse than watching your zero-turn mower's front tires chew up fresh snow while the plow keeps drifting sideways. It's frustrating, it's time-consuming, and it's just plain unnecessary. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I ran into this exact frustration last winter when my old plow attachment kept clogging and the mounting bar flexed every time I hit a patch of ice. That's when I decided to try the Country Manufacturing 5 feet wide Zero Turn Snowplow Kit. It's a made-in-the-USA universal kit that bolts right onto most zero-turn mowers without needing extra brackets. The whole thing weighs about 85 pounds, so it's heavy enough to cut through packed snow but still easy to lift off when spring finally arrives. The first thing I noticed was the 5-foot wide blade. That extra width means fewer passes across the driveway, which saves time and keeps my mower's tires from tearing up the lawn. I've got a pretty standard-sized driveway, so this works out perfectly for me. But if you've got a longer driveway, you might want to consider that you'll still be making multiple passes. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's worth planning for. The blade itself is reinforced steel with a replaceable cutting edge, so it can handle everything from light flurries to that nasty ice crust we get after a thaw-freeze cycle. I've used it on both my gravel driveway and my neighbor's paved parking lot, and it scrapes clean without gouging either surface. That's a major plus, especially if you've got a lawn that's prone to damage or a driveway that's already showing its age. The last thing you want to do is make things worse by using a plow that's too aggressive or too flimsy. This kit strikes a great balance between the two, and I've been really impressed with how well it's performed. Installation took me about 45 minutes the first time, mostly because I had to drill a few holes to match my mower's frame. The kit comes with all the hardware, including heavy-duty U-bolts and a mounting bar that clamps to the mower's existing cross tubes. Once it's on, you just slide the blade into the receiver and lock it with the included pins. Taking it off at the end of the season is just as simple, no rusted bolts or frozen pins to fight with. I've had my fair share of struggles with other plows in the past, but this one has been a breeze to install and remove. I've been using this plow for 3 winters now, and it's held up better than anything I've tried before. The blade angle is adjustable with a simple pin, so I can switch between a straight push for deep snow and a slight angle for side casting. The skid shoes keep the blade at the perfect height, so I don't end up with a shaved lawn in April. I've also noticed that the powder-coated finish doesn't collect ice the way my old plow did, which means less scraping and more actual plowing. It's those little details that really make a difference when you're out there in the cold, trying to get the job done. One thing to keep in mind is that this kit is designed for zero-turn mowers with a deck width between 48 and 60 inches. If your mower is wider or narrower, you might need to look for a different model. It's not a huge range, but it's worth checking your mower specs before you buy. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the blade is only 5 feet wide, so if you've got a long driveway, you'll still be making multiple passes. But for most people, I think this is a great compromise between size and maneuverability. On the plus side, the build quality is solid, no thin sheet metal or flimsy welds here. The instructions are clear, and the hardware is all stainless steel, so nothing seizes up in the cold. It's also nice that it's made in the USA, which means better quality control and support if you run into any issues. I've had to contact the manufacturer a few times with questions, and they've always been responsive and helpful. All in all, if you're tired of wrestling with a plow that doesn't work the way it should, this kit is worth the investment. It's built to last, easy to install, and it actually makes snow removal feel like less of a chore. I've been able to clear my driveway in half the time it used to take, and that's a huge difference when you're dealing with multiple snowfalls in a single week. Plus, the peace of mind that comes with knowing you've got a reliable plow is priceless. So if you're in the market for a new plow, I highly recommend giving this one a look. Link is below if you want to check it out.